Okay, hey, welcome everybody. It's great that you're interested in wanting to change the DNA of your church to make it evangelistic. So we've actually set up a website which is dedicated to this event. So let me just take you on a little tour of that site. So go to the top line, www.churchdnachange.com. That's churchdnachange.com. You can see it up there, and that should take us straight through to the site. And here it is. So at the top of the site you can see there's a command line here on the home page. Is home, get promo material, DNA change, question mark, host an event, program, and so on. How to create a church with a DNA of evangelism. And basically what this is about is that most pastors and leaders dream of their people being externally focused from an internal motivation. In other words, having people in their church who have a passion for the lost. So this is what this conference is trying to do by the power of the Holy Spirit. It's a Friday evening and it's a Saturday conference, and if you scroll down a little bit you can see where all the conferences are being held. The next one on here says Bethlehem, and then there's Tauranga, and then there's Hamilton, and then Te Puke and Morrinsville, and so on. If you scroll down a little bit further it says what leaders are saying, and these are basically a bank of videos of leaders who have attended this conference. So there's Rob Holding there, who's ex-Radio Rima announcer. There's a Pentecostal pastor there. There's a Presbyterian minister there. There's a Pentecostal Elam pastor, a couple of Baptist pastors here, great guys, and then so on. So you can go through those videos, and they're basically there. There's a Brethren pastor down the bottom, John Sutton, another great guy. You can go and just have a look at these videos to get some reassurance about whether this is going to be good value for your church or not. So this is leaders speaking to leaders. They're only a few minutes long, most of them. So if you wouldn't mind scrolling up to the top of the page, and we're going to go and have a look at Get Promo Material. So if you click on there, that'll take us through to a new page. And this page basically is set up to help churches promote this event in their church. So if you look here, it says, church leaders, we've made it easy for you to promote this event in your church. Start by checking out the promo guide, in brackets, the green View Promo Guide button below, which is this one. So let's just click on that one together. Have a look at this, and it says a 3-week promo campaign. So this basically is a PDF file that explains how to have a 3-week promotional campaign for this event in your church. So on the first Sunday, step 1 is insert flyers into your Sunday morning notices newsletter bulletin, which people receive when they enter the church. And then step 2, and I'll show you the flyers in a second. Step 2 is announce the conference during the service and draw attention to the flyer. And we've actually written a bit of a script here, in case you're wondering what on earth do I say when I draw attention to the flyer. So we've written a bit of a script there. Step 3 is play a promo video, and I'll show you those in a minute. Step 4 is at the end of the video, make a strong call to action. You might say something like, I'd urge you to take action on this and register for this conference, and so on. So we've given a bit of a script there as well. And step 5 is after the service, get busy shoulder tapping. And there's a picture of somebody who's tapping somebody on the shoulder. If you as the minister personally invite people to fill in the registration form for the conference, they will usually do so. A personal invitation from you will make all the difference. So that's your first week. Now, what do you do on the second and third Sundays? Well, you just repeat 1 to 5 that I've given you above. On the second Sunday of your campaign, repeat 1 to 5 above, except play a different promo video, video 2, and do the same on the third Sunday. So you've got basically a 4-week campaign, Sunday 1, Sunday 2, Sunday 3, and on the fourth Sunday is the conference. During the campaign, have someone in your church phone people to invite them and encourage them to register. Preferably, this needs to be someone who has already been to a DNA conference so they can speak from experience. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? The goal is to have everyone in your church attend a DNA conference. To see the big picture, click here. Now, there is a PDF file there which you can click onto. I won't do that right now, but that gives you insight into where this DNA conference fits into a 6-phase plan. Because to change the DNA of a church actually requires 6 phases, and attending a DNA conference is phase 1. So just come with me to the top of the page again, and don't close the PDF file, just click the back arrow, otherwise you'll lose the website. So get back to where we were, and that'll take us back to the promo page. Then I talked to you just before about I'd show you a promo video. Now there's 3 videos here. There's promo video 1, there's promo video 2, and promo video 3. Now all of these have been done with the help of TV3 and Howard Dobson, so they're very good quality. So let's just watch the first one. This gives you a pretty good insight into what the conference is going to be about. So we'll click on the first one and just watch this and see.
I'm Howard Dobson from TV3 Sports Tonight Show. On July the 20th, 1969, the Apollo astronauts landed on the moon. It was an historic occasion for all of mankind.
I might just put this on to full screen so you can have a look at it.
What's interesting is to succeed with this mission, thousands of people had to play their part, from scientists to engineers to labourers, all the way down to those who clean the toilets. Everyone knew what the mission was, and everyone knew the part they had to play. And guess what? They succeeded. The Christian church, too, has a mission. It's a mission more grand and noble than walking on the moon. The problem is, research shows that most of us in today's church have little or no idea what our mission is. And because we're not sure what our mission is, many Christians feel like they lack purpose and direction. This was never the plan of Jesus. His plan was for churches to be united, working in close harmony and unity towards the success of the mission. With this in mind, we're holding one-day conferences around the nation called How to Change the DNA of Your Church to Make It Evangelistic. These conferences are fast-moving, engaging, dynamic, professional, highly biblical, and wait for it, fun. You'll learn afresh what the mission of the church is, and most important, you'll learn how and why your gifts and talents, no matter what they are vital for the success of Jesus' mission. You'll come away refreshed, invigorated, inspired, challenged, and empowered to join Jesus' mission. God called you for a reason. And what was that reason? To play your part. This conference is truly life-changing, but don't take my word for it. Listen to what these people have to say.
We've just held one of Julian's DNA, Changing Your Church DNA seminars, and it was a really fantastic day. I've done a little bit of this with Julian before, and it was great for me to sit at the back of the room and see people engaging with him, and Julian's a lot of fun. He really engages, he really gets into it, he puts his heart and soul into it, and the level of engagement and processing was really, really great. And I just think it's one of the best seminars I've ever been to, and one of the most profoundly life-changing ones that anyone could ever go to. And hey, I'm a bit of a seminar junkie, but this was top of my list, and I've been encouraging everyone to get involved with it, go to it. What about you, Len? How did you find it? You go to a few seminars.
No matter how old you are, whether you're young, older, that it's for you. And you can engage in it in a way that can be life-changing.
Yeah, so I would just really encourage people to give it a go. Invite Julian to your area. Get one of these seminars going. Hey, it'll be life-changing and life-transforming.
This conference is truly life-changing. You just simply have to be there to experience it. It starts 9 a.m. in the morning, finishes 4:30 in the arvo, so you can still get home in time for the big game. We'll see you there.
Okay. That's one of the promo videos, and if you want to download them, you see where it says there, it says right click here. So you just right click on your mouse, and for me, I'm working on Mac, those sort of options come up, and you say download the link file, and that'll download straight onto your hard drive. You can put it on a little pen drive or a little memory stick, take it into church, put it on your church computer and play it straight from there. Or if you've got Wi-Fi at church, you can play it straight off the internet, doesn't matter. Okay, so there's the second video, there's the third promo video, so they're all set up to go. There's some flyers here which are bank envelope size and they're full color. So if you wouldn't mind just clicking on the free flyer download here, we'll have a quick look at the flyer. There they are. They're very, very high quality. As I say, they're bank envelope size, so they're designed to fit inside your church bulletin, church newsletter. Alright, please hit the back arrow again. Don't close the PDF file, otherwise you'll lose the website. So we'll get back to the promo material. And then if we keep scrolling down, we've just seen the flyer. We're now at conference brochures. These are 4 pages, they're A4, they're full color. And here's all the conferences here. So just click on the conference that you're thinking of going to. We've got Tauranga, Hamilton, Te Puke, Morrinsville, and Huntley. So let's just have a look at the Tauranga one, double click on that, and it opens up to a page, obviously the brochure. First thing you see is how to change the DNA of your church. That's the title. Why should you come? There's a bit of a rationale for coming there. Goals for the day, you'll find out. There's some of the goals for the day. As a church leader, who should you invite? Basically, everybody should come to this conference. Even though it says we're really targeting leaders, and we'd love all the leaders of your church to come, basically everybody should come to this conference from your church. It'll really grow your church and really help your church. There's a timetable there, shows you what's in the timetable, some testimonies of some more leaders about these resources or the conference. And then the last page is a registration form. So you've got all the details of who to phone, what time exactly the conference is, the costs, and different ways you can register down there. So if you wouldn't mind just going back up to the back arrow and click on that, that takes us back to that page. And you'll notice if you scroll right up to the top, there's a little form here. It says use this order form to use this form to order your promo flyers and brochures. So if you don't want to print out your flyers and brochures and print them out at church, you can just fill out the simple little form and we'll send them to you. Now these are done commercially, so they look great. They're all cut up, ready to go, and there's going to be no donkeying around for you. So the flyers, it says here, A5 size flyers to insert in your church bulletin, they're 20 cents each. So if you've got a church of 100, that'll cost you $20, which is nothing or very little. And then the conference brochures cost $1, so you probably only need about a dozen of those, depending on the size of your church, of course. So, if you bought 12 of those and 100 of those, that'll be $32 to advertise one of the best conferences you'll ever go to. And you just fill all the fields in and then order them. We will post them out to you. Now, if you go back up to the command line, this little button here is DNA change with a question mark on it. It says, what does change the DNA of your church to make it evangelistic mean? A lot of people want to know that. So let's just click on that button, and a document opens up. It says a 6-phase plan to help churches become intensely passionate about the Great Commission, motivated by a strong, enduring internal desire. So this is a plan. It's very practical, shows you how to create a church with the DNA of evangelism. And if you click through, basically saying that all leaders want to create an externally focused church, powerfully motivated by an internal motivation. And then I go through some reasoning about the need for a DNA change, because you can't overlay a DNA changer over a church which doesn't have a DNA already of evangelism. So if you're trying to mobilize your people to be externally focused and they don't have a DNA of evangelism, you just be pushing water uphill with a rake. And then on the page 6, it says here are the 6 phases of a DNA change. Phase 1 is to attend a DNA conference. Phase 2 is to equip your people to do evangelism. Phase 3 is purging, which is getting rid of all the unbiblical thinking and unbiblical thinking in your church, which is holding people back. We call this a spiritual detox. It's like putting antivirus software through your church to get rid of all the thoughts and the thinking and the understandings that people have that actually stop them becoming externally focused. And then there's strategies and structures, and then there's teach other churches, and it's getting the final step is getting your church in order. So you can read all about those 6 phases in a bit more detail, but phase 1 is what we're talking about today. So if you wouldn't mind just please going up to the back arrow at the top, don't close the website, remember, we'll click on that, get back to the DNA Change website. If you want to host an event, please go to this little button here called Host an Event. If you'd like to have an event in your town or in your wherever you are, please click on that, and you'll see another document opens up, says how to plan and execute how to change the DNA of your church to make it evangelistic conference. It goes through how much it'll cost to run it. It's actually no more than a couple of $100 for you to host one of these in your church, which is absolutely nothing. The motive that you should have if you're going to do this, setting a conference date, choosing a venue, and so on. Leadership buy-in is critical. Getting your prayer and intercession people on board, having a sound person who operates the sound, a small little conference setup team, sometimes billeting because it's a Friday night. Some people come from a long way away to these conferences, so there may be a little bit of billeting involved. We want people to feel loved and special at this event, so when they arrive, they go, wow, this is such a lovely feel to this conference. We do it cafe style. So that's what the tables look like. Sort of, it's nice and casual. There's a lot of interaction. The only thing the church has to really do is morning tea, lunchtime, our lunch, and afternoon tea. And honestly, for lunch, just a large pot of soup, excuse me, with a bun. That is fantastic. With a couple of buns with butter, it seems to just work well. And afternoon and morning tea and coffee with some things to eat would be just fantastic. And also, if possible, a bit of a muffin and a cup of tea when people arrive on Friday night, and pretty much that's it. We want to honour people who've come because they've usually come a long way. They paid some money to come. And then there's some general administration, some advertising the event. The best way to advertise this event is actually to get people phoning Christians directly around other churches, because this is a kingdom event. We like to invite people from churches all around your church to this event. So we ask you to engage other churches and to engage your people in being active in doing this conference. There's actually if I was able to turn this round, I think I can rotate it, maybe. No, I can't. I just have to pause that because the telephone's just gone. Okay, sorry about that. We've got a bit of a phone call right in the middle of that, but here's a conference organizational chart. I'm not quite sure how to actually rotate that so we can see it, but you can download that. It makes it very easy to understand, what's involved. And then the next thing is a critical timeline, which has months 1, 2, and 3, what to do in each month of the 3 months leading up to your conference. And then this one says the critical timeline for the week before the conference. So that takes you right down to Sunday, Monday to Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the actual week of the conference, which is pretty cool. Shows you what to do. And here's a really good little document called a host church checklist. So you can basically, the whole of this document is summarized on this one document, and shows you what you need: leadership buy-in, engaging people to pray, a catering team, a person to coordinate billeting, 2 people to help set up the room, the person involved in sound, and engaging some volunteers to help do some phoning around other churches in your area. And then on the day of the conference, these are things the host church is responsible for: 1 flower for each table, scroggin for each table, large pot plants to decorate the stage area, good quality data projector, 3 ushers to help greet people and lead them to tables on Friday night and Saturday morning, a bag of ice to cool the water people drink at their tables, an easel with board and large sheets of newsprint paper at the front, whiteboard pens and duster, some round tables or some square tables, and it gives you some sizes, 2 people to make tea and coffee for people as they arrive at both days. So that's basically a summary, and then there's some frequently asked questions at the very end of this document. The content: what should individual Christian churches gain from being part of it, from this conference? And there's a whole list of things. The format: how much of it is sitting and listening, how much of it is interactive? A good answer there. The purpose: is it primarily to motivate and inspire Christians to action, or is it more about techniques and methods of engaging with non-church people, or is it both? Question 4, is the conference generally relevant for all Christians, or is it pitched to be more suitable for new Christians or for those who have been on the path for a long time? Good question. Does it presume a certain level of Bible knowledge and Christian experience? Another good question. Is there some preliminary reading or preparation that people should do? What would there be opportunities for people to share their experiences in evangelism? And of course there is lots. And the final question: will the conference consider different approaches which may be needed for evangelizing people, e.g. of different cultures, religious backgrounds, age groups, backsliders, and so on? So we'll give an answer to that. So that's the document. Okay, well worth having a look at that. And we would really love you to organise a conference in your area, just to host one. And as I said, the cost is no more than a few $100s, so it's not going to be a great big drama for you financially. Just hit the back arrow if you wouldn't mind, get us back to the promo material. And that's pretty much it. So you've got DNA changed, host an event, there's a program there which you can have a look at and contact us. Okay, thank you so much for watching this, and I pray that you, as the leader of the church, and lots of people from your church would come to this conference. All right, God bless you. I'll see you there. We're going to have a great time.